back for yet another review of Shift Shop. This one we're in the deluxe, what he calls round two. So if you do the first round of Shift Shop, you're going to do 25, 35, and 45-minute workouts. And then if you're going to do round two, you're going to start at week 2, and then you're going to do week 3, and then you're going to do the 50-minute workouts, the super workouts. So this is the review of Super Strength. So it's 50 minutes, 50. So get that in your mind because the intensity does peak up. There's 10 moves. I'm going to go through each one, talk a little bit about it. This one I burned around 510 calories. Went through this twice just to get a feel for it and before I did this review. Both times I did around the same amount of calories. 171. Got my heart rate maxed out at 171. Average about 135. So for resistance, it's good. It wasn't a huge heart pump except for the final round. So there's 3 rounds. You're going to do 10 exercises. The first round you're going to do each for 60 seconds. And then the second round you're going to do 45 seconds. And then the final round is 30 seconds. But on the final round there's no stopping in between. So it's very, very quick and you have to be ready for that. You have to use a PT sandbag, which was introduced, I believe, with hardcore, 22-minute hardcore in Beachbody, or a dumbbell. So you can use dumbbell, and you'll see the modifier using a dumbbell, or people using a dumbbell in there. But I used the sandbag. I got my sandbag up to 22 pounds or something like that, 24 pounds. I found that it's not that heavy for these types of workouts, at least that's my opinion. So you may want to try a dumbbell with a little bit more weight if you think it's easy. But some of the moves are a little bit more difficult with a dumbbell, and I'll explain them as we go through. But it is important. You need to have weights. Obviously, this is a resistance workout. There is a warm-up, typical warm-up, and a cool down at the end. So the first move is called a Sandy Sumo. So you're going to get in. You take the PT sandbag or a dumbbell. Actually, you're going to hold it down. You're going to get into a sumo squat, right? So toes out, squat down. You're going to do a front raise. Don't go too high. My bicep tendon has been torn, so haven't been lifting a lot, and this one didn't hurt. So if you go too far above your shoulders, you start impinging your shoulder. So you want to be no higher than your shoulder. And then you're going to move over to, you're going to kneel, squat, cross down, kneel down, not all the way down, and then you're going to do a curl. So you're going to go over that leg, come back, do another front raise, come back, kneel, squat down, kneel down, and then you're going to do a curl, and then you're going to come back. So that one gets your biceps a little bit going too as well. Then you're going to do what he calls an RDL upright row. So this is one that you're standing up. You're going to take the dumbbell or the bag with a single-handed side, go all the way down. So you're keeping stiff stiff legs, and you go all the way down to about mid-shin. Come up, and you're going to do an upright row. And again, when you do the upright row, don't go too high. Make sure you're in proper form. Get those shoulders back, and so that you're really getting your shoulders done and not hurting your shoulder. And the next move is called a Superman pull. So you're going to do a Superman. So you're lying on your stomach, right? Hands up, legs up. And you're going to take a sandbag or a dumbbell, and you're going to just pull it in like a lat move. In and out, in and out, in and out. On one side, 30 seconds, in and out on the other. Keeping your legs and your hands up, so it's working on your back of your core, right? So and your shoulders and your lats. The next one's a prisoner press. This one's difficult, especially as you get later in the rounds. But you're basically going to be kneeling down, and you're going to take the dumbbell or the sandbag, pull it into a curl. You're going to step up on one leg, step up on the other leg, squat down, stand up, and then do a press, overhead press. Come back down, squat, kneel down, then go the other legs. So you're getting up and down, doing squats and shoulder presses. So that will work you a little bit. The next one is a bridge press. So here's where you're going to get down on the back, and you're going to get into bridge, right? So you're getting your heels really close to your butt, heels, toes up, and then you're just lifting your legs and glutes off the mat, and then you're going to take the dumbbell or the sandbag and you're going to do push, like bench presses, and you don't stop. So you're trying to get your core, your legs, your glutes, and you're doing some shoulders and chest. And that's where like the sandbag for me is very light. And then you're going to do a double cross. There's a couple of moves that are a little different. So this one, you're going to take it over your shoulder, say your left shoulder. You're going to swing it to the other leg while you're doing a curtsy. So it's kind of hard to describe without saying it, but you take your other leg, you say your right leg, back behind your left, and you're going to go down on the right side. So it's really getting your core, your obliques, and then you're taking it back up, so you're working your arms and your shoulders. And you do both sides. Then you're going to do a sticky bear. So he loves bear positions, right? So you take your dumbbell or the sandbag, and if you're using the sandbag, use the double-handed side, and you're going to get into a bear position, right? So you're on your toes, your knees are a couple inches above the floor, and your back is flat, so it's kind of like a bear, right? And then you're going to take the sandbag, push it out, walk out, right, on your hands, do a push-up, and while you're in that plank position, on top of a push-up, take the lower handle and pull it back. So you're really using your core, stabilizing your core to pull that back. You go bear crawl back into a bear position, then you do the other side, all the way out, push up, pull it back. So you're getting a pretty good workout there all around. Then you're going to do something called T-row. Now I modified this. He has you take the dumbbell or the sandbag. Again, here the sandbag's pretty light. Single handed side for the sandbag, and you're going to get on one leg. So just say you're on your right leg. So I would hold it in my my left hand. The back, you're on your right leg. The left leg is back horizontal. So you lifted it and you're back, and then you do a lat pull, right? A back pull, right? And then he has you stand up and then repeat that. I just stayed down and I just repped out as many pulls as I could, right? So, or rows, I should say. And that's how I did that. So I didn't know the advantage of getting up and down. Maybe it's a little bit more core work, but this one's really working your balance. Your core is engaged because you're in balance position and you're doing a lot of pull-ups. Rows. Now, here's where you go up in weight, in my opinion. And you do both sides. And then there's one move, a bailout right. So it's similar to the curtsy move, where you're going to squat down, holding the weight or the sandbag, and you're going to sit back. So you're down in a good squat. You're going to pull it to one side, and then you're going to come up, and you're going to go to the opposite leg. So if you move to the right, you're going to step back on your left, and you're going to do a curl, and you're going to do a squat. So you're really working your legs and your core and your arms in this one. So I like that one. And then the last final move is called the wrestler, and it's the most difficult move. So you're on your back. You do a bench press with the dumbbell or the sandbag. Bring it back down to yourself. Do a sit-up, so you a full sit-up, and then you're going to turn on one side and go into a plank, push-up, do a full push-up, come back, reverse that move, get back down into the press position, do a press, do a sit-up, do the other side. And so you're doing a lot of movements here. You're getting up, you're turning around and doing sit-ups, push-ups, and you're really using your core, getting up and down. And so those are the 10 moves. And then then you take a minute break. There's a little break between each move, the first round, because he's teaching you that. The second round goes to 45 seconds, so it goes a little quicker. And then, like I said earlier, the final round is nonstop. Boom, 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 boom. Then at the end, there's a little surprise. So I'm not going to spoil it, but you think you're done after those 3 rounds, and then he has a couple-minute burnout that's going to really burn your legs. So I like this workout. It's not super, super hard. I think picking heavier weights instead of the sandbag would definitely bring up the intensity. I like to get a little bit more arm work into this one. Let me know what you think.